Welcome, and today we will be discussing Cracking the Whip with Aljahara, Cicely, Devin, April, and Ashley. And today's question is, was Davidson missing all the danger signals about Pitcher from the start? First off, we start with Walter Drummond, who was the director at the Department of Technical Services and who had taken an abrupt early retirement, leaving Davidson in charge. Having earned a new position, Harmon Davidson learned that his first job would entail that he'd be responsible for a comprehensive 6-month survey. In his new role, Davidson realized that Drummond left having already just chosen 2 experienced management analysts, a promising young staff member, an intern, and a team leader, Al Pitcher. But what was Pitcher's true intentions? Now being the voice for the team, they soon realized that not having a say to changes in the department can bring some nasty hostility. As we can see here, Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs Erin Dove states that her entire supervisory staff are upset due to having heard about a mandatory change in the organization and its methods. Davidson quickly notifies Pitcher that if any changes should be made, that they shouldn't be taken lightly. Pitcher, on the other hand, looked puzzled and confused, having heard how the department had made an outrageous conclusion on just a few statements he supposedly made. Davidson proposed to Pitcher that any more feedback should wait, but not even 2 weeks later, the technology development director and a good friend, Phil Canseco, approaches Davidson stating that the survey is taking time away from more important matters, and questions about Pitcher's decisions to Davidson. At this point, it didn't matter what Davidson said because Pitcher could care less. Pitcher also thought that if anything were to get done, then everyone would have to abide to his strict regimen. Davidson prompted to call some of his peers who had already worked with the survey team. They all criticized the team leader and some team members. His peers stated that when they tried to stick with current structure, that their comments were shut down. Davidson confronted Pitcher at this point, but he wasn't having any of it. Pitcher saw his plan as the only way to get anything done, and that Davidson was only there to handle prima donnas if the problems escalated. Some changes to think about in the end. A. What if more time was just spent on getting all the tasks done instead of changing how to approach them? B. Davidson should have had more of a say on who was being hired instead of Drummond. And C. If major changes were to have been made, they should have been done in a timely manner. And with that, we conclude our story. Thank you for today, and we'll be back next week with Thanksgiving. A potluck gone wrong. Was it the uncle, the mother-in-law, or the turkey that did the crime? Tune in next week.
Created using Powtoon.